Hi, welcome to the latest video in the Irish Ancestor series. This one is about the new or the updated and much improved Catholic parish maps on the site. Um, let's go there and have a look at them first of all. Okay, here we are at the home page. It's places because Catholic parishes are places, and OC Parish Maps takes you to the homepage, and it's very similar to the home pages for civil parishes and poor law unions and so on, county by county. You click in and you get taken to the parishes. Before I start doing that, I'd just like to say a few words about these parishes in general. First of all, why they're so important. Well, in mid early 19th century, which is where an awful lot of our research is focused, because that's when emigration took place, the vast majority of emigration took place. Um, Virtually the only direct records of family events, of baptisms, of marriages, of burials are in the local parish registers. And 85% of the population were Catholic, so the Catholic parishes are obviously extremely important. The Catholics were also the poorest. Most of them were quite poor. Most of those who emigrated came from quite poor backgrounds. So they don't appear in property records, they don't appear in tax records. The parish records are basically it. So it's quite important to know where they are and how they relate to each other. And that brings me to another point about them. They can be very slippery. A lot of parishes didn't really get started in keeping records, particularly in areas where emigration took place from, until the second, third, fourth, fifth, even sixth decade of the 19th century. So the 1830s to the 1860s. Um, Part of that is just that they were so poor that the population couldn't support the clergy. The clergy, without the clergy, you didn't have the records. The clergy, the whole bureaucracy, the office, the books, the so on. Um, and of course, throughout the 18th century, Catholicism had been proscribed, not exactly forbidden, but very heavily penalized. And Catholic priests lived a very precarious existence. Catholic parishes barely existed in most places. Um, that meant that when they started to come back into existence in the 19th century, they could take shapes that reflected the realities on the ground. So they could cover areas that were much more rational, at least in 19th century terms, than the old Church of Ireland parishes, civil parishes. So that means they can be difficult to pin down. Okay, in the course of talking about the maps, you'll see what I mean. Okay, the first thing that's different about that's upgraded about this, well, first of all, let me just show you what the maps used to look like. This is the old um, map. You can see it's very static. You can't zoom in, you can't zoom out. You click on the area and you get taken to the listing of the records. So you hold the mouse over the name and you get the variants. Mm, that's kind of all right if you're sitting in front of a PC with a mouse. If you're doing this on a phone or on a tablet, that's not so good. So the first thing that is different in the new one is that there is a search. Okay, so I'm going to enter. It's this searches all the variant names and it will take you to the equivalent. So Esther Snow. Esther Snow, right beside my own home place in North Roscommon. So if you enter Esther Snow and you get taken to Ballinamean. Okay, Ballinamean has alternate names: Ballinameen, Breedogue, Esther Snow, Kilnamanagh. That's it there um, on the new map. We'll come back to that in a second. You can zoom in and out on that. You can click um, on the name to get taken to the records of the adjoining parishes and so on. So that's quite useful. Um, you can let me just go back to the main page and show you what happens if you click on the county. You're taken to a much bigger version of the small map we were just looking at. So you can see these are suspiciously sort of even. boundaries, aren't they now? They look a little bit less gnarly than poor law unions, than civil parishes, and there are reasons for that. Let's go back into Ballynameen and I'll start to show you some of them. Okay, Ballynameen, there we go. You can see the earliest record is 1859, God help us. You click here for a listing of place names associated with the church, and this takes you to the civil parishes associated with Ballynameen. The civil parishes are where all the state records were taken. So the property records, Griffiths, the tithe allotment books. Um, Basically, if you're looking for a location, these are the stable ones. So we'd say Esther Snow. Esther Snow, that takes us to the page for Esther Snow on the site. And if we zoom down, see there is Esther Snow, the civil parish. You see research sources, you see places. If you want to see where exactly in Esther Snow Cark Free is, you click on the map link, and there you are. You have um, Cark Free there, and you can click on that and go to all sorts of other wonderful records. Griffiths, births, marriages, and deaths, the state births, marriages, and deaths, 1901, 1911, and so on. What I want to look at in this is the one particular source. This is Lewis's Topographical Dictionary. Um, Catholics were second-class citizens. There's no two ways about it until well into the 19th century. So Lewis's Topographical Dictionary is a topographical dictionary that Easter Snow, a parish, by which he means a civil parish, and almost as an afterthought, you get in the RC divisions, the parish forms part of the union or district of Croghan and Ballynameen. Okay, part of. That means there are other areas involved. In some cases, for civil parishes, it will say the parish, part of the parish is in the Catholic parish of Ballymore, and another part is in Ballybeg, but it doesn't say which parish. So if you are looking at the underlying townlands, it's not always clear which are in which Catholic parish. Let me demonstrate that to you with another new feature on the site, which is this, the Roscommon Catholic and Civil Parish Maps overlaid. There's one of these for every county. If you click on it, you get a map of, this is County Roscommon, with on the left, the civil parishes, and on the right, the Catholic parishes. As you can see, my little joke up here to the on the left, Catholics, the sheep to the right, and civil, the goats to the left. And you get a little slider bar. So you can zoom in. Let's zoom in to the area we were looking at for Easter Snow. So there's Esther Snow there, the civil parish. And there is Ballynameen, the Catholic parish. And you can zoom in to these. So Ballynameen, let's go into Ballynameen. And again, you have all the townlands there. You can click on Carnagapple and you again, you get the birth, marriage, and deaths, you get the census records, you get the Griffiths records. One of the things I would draw your attention to is where the lines actually go. You'll notice these lines do not follow the boundaries of townlands in most cases, or not in quite a few cases. So, for example, the parish of Boyle comes down around here, just around here. I doubt very much that Tullahan is in Boyle, but it's not clear. Okay. Part of the reason for that is that when I was doing these original maps here, dealing with the ambiguity in the Lewis references, and Lewis is the only 19th century reference for the locations of Catholic parishes, dealing with the ambiguity meant that at times I just had to draw a map where I thought the likeliest line would be. So that's why these have been quite a while in coming. I've hummed and hawed and thought about it, but I think their usefulness outweighs the fact that they are not geographically accurate. It gives a pretty good idea of where the Catholic parish is, what civil parishes underlie it, and it does it visually and it allows you to click through. And all in all, it's all singing, all dancing, and quite wonderful, like all the maps on the site. Okay. Um, Thank you very much for watching. I hope you found the maps useful. I hope you found this talk useful. Um, Talk to you again.